In the world of AI, some days are just bigger than others. But yesterday, February 10th, 2026, it wasn't just big. It might have been the day a whole new revolution kicked off. Let's break down exactly what happened.
There's really one term, one single idea that perfectly captures everything that went down: Agentic AI. We're moving from AI that can just chat with you to AI that can actually act for you. This quote from Cisco's chief product officer just nails it. It's a fundamental shift, and it's the key to understanding every single headline we're about to cover.
So here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by defining what this agentic revolution even is. Then, we'll follow the money and see the clash of the titans. After that, we'll trace the economic shockwave that's already hitting markets and jobs, see what new tools are actually in our hands, and finally, ask the biggest question of all: what happens tomorrow?
All right, let's dive into Section 1, the Agentic Revolution. For years, we've thought of AI as something we talk to, a chatbot. What changed yesterday is a total game changer. We are now officially entering the era of AI that does things. Autonomous, active agents are here.
Cisco is calling this new framework AgenticOps. And what's so interesting is how they frame it. It's an IT operating model. This isn't just a new feature, it's a whole new way to run really complex systems. Imagine telling an AI, hey, find this security vulnerability in our network. Go ahead and patch it and report back to me when you're done. The AI takes autonomous action, but, and this part is absolutely crucial, with human oversight. It's like giving your IT department a team of brilliant, tireless interns that you still get to manage.
And these are the engines driving it all. Two absolute beast models. From Anthropic, we have Claude 4.6 with a massive 1 million token context window. That's like being able to read and remember a 750,000-word novel instantly. Then on the other side, OpenAI dropped GPT 5.3 Codex, their most capable agentic coding model ever. But, and this is a big but, notice the risk factor OpenAI themselves assigned to it: high. They're so concerned about its cybersecurity potential that they're limiting access. It's a pretty clear signal that this new power is a double-edged sword.
And it's not just about the core models. An entire ecosystem is just exploding around them. Cisco is rolling out AgenticOps across its whole portfolio. A startup called Entire just raised $60 million specifically for managing AI agent code. OpenAI launched Frontier as a dedicated enterprise platform for these agents. Even the language in research papers is shifting. The whole industry is retooling for this new reality, and it's happening fast.
Which brings us right to our second section, the clash of the tech titans. This is not a casual experiment, folks. This is a dead serious trillion-dollar arms race to build the infrastructure for this agentic future. Let's start with this number: $650 billion. Just let that sink in. That is the combined planned spending on AI infrastructure for 2026 alone from just 4 companies: Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon. To put that into perspective, it's one of the largest infrastructure projects in human history, and it's all happening right now.
And then there's this: $1.25 trillion. That's the new valuation of Elon Musk's combined SpaceX and xAI. Think about that for a second. He merged his rocket company with his AI company. Why? Because the ambition here isn't just about building software. It's about having the physical infrastructure, the energy, and the raw computational power to build the future.
And the money isn't just coming from the tech giants. This $1 billion represents Blackstone's stake in Anthropic, OpenAI's biggest rival. I mean, when the biggest names in private equity start placing bets of this size, it sends a clear signal to the rest of the market. This isn't a fad. They believe the returns are going to be massive, and they're betting that it's a 2-horse race, at least for now.
And all this money is forcing major corporate moves. Over at xAI, 2 more co-founders just resigned, meaning half of the original team is now gone, even as its valuation soars. OpenAI, in a huge strategic shift, started testing ads in ChatGPT. Google sold a 100-year bond. That's how confident they are in the long-term return. And Meta is already teasing its next generation of models. Everyone is repositioning for what comes next.
Okay, Section 3, the economic shockwave. This technology isn't happening in a vacuum. The reaction from the markets and the job sector was immediate and, frankly, intense.
So the market's reaction? It was swift and brutal. The S&P software index just cratered, dropping 17% in a single day. The fear was simple. If AI agents can write, debug, and manage code, what happens to the multi-trillion-dollar software industry? The market panicked. And while it did rebound slightly, that initial shockwave shows just how disruptive Wall Street believes this technology truly is.
And this is where it gets very real for people. 13%. According to a brand new Stanford study, that's the decline in jobs for early career workers that can be directly attributed to generative AI. Let me repeat that because it's important. This isn't a forecast for 2030. This is data on what has already happened. Which leads to this stark warning from Tristan Harris, the former Google ethicist. He's not talking about disruption, he's talking about a potential global jobs market collapse by 2027. It is a truly sobering perspective on the speed and scale of the changes we're all seeing. So with all this happening at the corporate and economic level, how does it actually affect the tools we use every day? Let's look at what's new in our hands.
We're already seeing the results of this agentic push in the tools we use. OpenAI announced that ChatGPT is getting significantly better at deep research and that its latest instant model has a more measured and grounded tone. Now, this isn't just a minor tweak. It's all about making the AI a more reliable and capable agent for tasks that require real nuance and accuracy.
And an interesting counter-trend is emerging. As the mainstream models from companies like OpenAI become more powerful but also more controlled, a market for uncensored AI is booming. Tools like Hack AIGC are responding to a clear user demand for fewer restrictions. It really highlights a fundamental tension in the AI space: the push for safety and control versus the desire for raw, unfiltered capability.
Which brings us to our final section. What happens tomorrow? After a day like yesterday, it's really the only question that matters. The pace of change has become almost dizzying. So let's just put it all together. What's the story of the day? First, the game has changed. We've shifted to agentic AI. Second, the biggest companies on Earth are betting trillions that this is the future. Third, the impact on our economy and jobs isn't a distant threat. It's happening right now. And finally, the race to build the tools for this new world has only just begun. And that leaves us with one final thought. The entire AI landscape, the technology, the money, the market, the products, changed dramatically in just 24 hours. So the real question is, are any of us truly ready for what the next 24 might bring?